Hey, what's up everybody? It's Flux with fluxwithit.com, and today I want to talk to you about convolution reverb and how we can use it to make sounds that are not typically part of the reverb vocabulary. So what I've got here is a drum kit for a new Maschine expansion that I'm working on, and I want to show you how it sounds without any of the effect on it. Okay, so say we wanted to have a reverb on this, and if we just chose like a regular convolution reverb, it would sound like this. Which is really cool. You know, it has this nice thick sound to it. You can, of course, tweak the room size and the EQ of it and, you know, the decay, play around with it. You can reverse it. Basically, a convolution is, they use what are called impulse responses, which are basically like, they're like samples, okay? And it analyzes the sample and that becomes the room. So if you make a sharp transient sound, how the reflections in the room react with your ears is basically how a convolution reverb works. Well, what we're going to do now is, instead of using a simple convolution reverb such as, you know, of a concert hall, which gives it that big roomy sound, instead what we're going to do is we're going to use some of our own samples, and I'm going to show you some of the techniques that I like to employ. So right now we have this drum pattern at 92 BPM. This can come into play later on. But first what I want to do is, let's say we want to make our drums kind of sing. What we can do is we can grab our samples, and I just exported a loop of me playing some pad sounds. So I'm going to grab those now. Now I can grab my pad group. And this pad group is, again, it's just me playing some pads. And what's going to happen now is when I hit the pad, the drum pad, you'll hear that instead of resonating inside of a room, it's going to be resonating inside of a pad. And you'll notice as I hit the darker sounds, it works along with that. The frequencies interact together. So let's hear how this loop sounds now. And we can play with this. So you can see that we get these weird kind of ghostly sounds coming off of the drums, almost like a reso chord. Now let's try a couple of different techniques here. So that's drums with a pad sound on it. Here's what drums sound like when you put a drum break that's at the same beats per minute that you're using in your pattern. So what I'm going to do is and this is a totally different drum kit, totally different pattern, but it's in the same beats per minute. So I'm going to load this, and let's hear how these interact together. And as we adjust the decay and adjust, you know, the size and start point, depth, those sorts of things, you can tailor it to be how you want. Now let's hear some individual strikes. Now we'll increase the size. Let's take it back down to 0. Reverse it. And we'll change the start point when we do that. And so you can change around and get lots of different sounds, and just by changing what sort of samples you use as your convolution reverb. So just an interesting tip that I thought I would share. This is Flux with fluxwithit.com. Peace.